Hey guys, Mixed Media Girl here. So some of you may know, but I have another business. It's called The Painter in You, where I actually teach paint nights locally in Los Angeles at bars and restaurants. I haven't been doing as much just because I've been so busy with Mixed Media Girl, but I actually have videoed a few lessons, and I figured now would be a great time to put them up on my Mixed Media Girl channel for you guys to do. So all the lessons will tell you at the beginning what materials you'll need, and then it'll walk you step by step through an acrylic painting. And these are for beginners. Anyone can do it. So here's the first one. I hope you enjoy. So today we're going to show you guys how to create this awesome abstract cityscape using any acrylic colors that you want. It is very simple, something that anyone can do, and the key is to just relax and have fun with it. So here we go. Hey guys, welcome back to The Painter in You. Today I'm going to show you how to do this awesome cityscape. You can use any colors that you want. This is fun, simple to do, and you can do it from the comfort of your own home watching this video. So to start with, I'm going to be using 3 brushes. A foam brush, and I use that mainly for the background. It's really easy to blend. It's the 1-inch foam brush. Then I use a medium flat brush, which is about a 1/2 inch. And then I use a little detail brush. Those are the 3 brushes that we're going to be using. And I am just using Craft Smart paint. You can use any acrylic paint or even do this with oil or watercolor. Totally up to you. And we're just going to go ahead and get started. And like I said, once again, you can use any colors that you want. So to start off with, we're going to work on the background. And this is just going to be a combination of all of your colors, but mixed together with a lot of white. So using the foam brush, we're going to go here on the white. And then we're going to just blend colors into it as we go. So that way we get kind of a streaky sunset look. We're going to do this all the way down the canvases using our different colors. And I like to have the top of the canvas be a bit darker because it is kind of sunset nighttime. And then the bottom of the canvas will actually be lighter because it's going to be reflecting some light. So once again, use any colors you want in any order. And we're just going to go ahead and get this canvas covered with a bunch of fun colors. With this background, you can make it as blended as you want or not blended as you want. It's totally up to you. The white will actually help blend the colors together. So if you're looking to have a more blended effect, definitely utilize your white to help blend everything together. And then also just be careful what colors you use with each other. You know, you're not going to necessarily want to put your green and your red together because that will kind of make a bit of a mess in terms of blending. Alright, so we've got our background covered pretty much to our satisfaction here. I'm going to just get this little top part that I messed up here. Okay, good. Awesome. So I'm going to set the foam brush aside for now, and I'm going to go in here with the medium flat brush, and I'm going to go ahead and do this line that breaks up my cityscape there. And that's going to be pretty much right in the middle. So we're going to take some black and we're going to just do a line. That's all we're doing for now. That's the first step on that, just so we kind of know where things go. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our really big moon. And I like to do that with the same brush, so go ahead and rinse it out. If you do want to take a break, now is a good time to take a break as well, to let your background dry so that you can get an actually white moon. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just do my outline here first, just so I kind of know where I want it to go. And then I'm going to take a break and let it dry and go back in with some more white. So on the moon, you want to do it a little bit above your line here. You don't want it to go all the way down to your line. And you can make it as big or as small as you want. You can do it higher as well if you want, but I like to have it peeking out from behind the buildings. Okay. So I think that is a decent size and location. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to take a break. I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to come back in and do more on the white there and get started on the buildings. All right, we're back. Acrylic paint dries pretty fast. It's not 100% dry here, but dry enough. And I'm actually okay with it being a little gray because the moon mostly is gray. So that's okay with me. I'm just going to go ahead in here with some more white. Awesome. Okay, good. And you can get as detailed with this as you want. You know, if you want to go ahead and do a more realistic moon, great. If not, you can just leave it. Another thing you can do is kind of pat it to give it a little more of that kind of crater look, as opposed to having the thin, like, brush strokes. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and do that and see how that looks. There we go. That's fun. All right, we're going to get started on our buildings now. So what I do is these are all going to be pretty much done with this medium flat brush. And we're going to pick a color. So let's go ahead and start with red. And we're going to just start making buildings. And you're going to make the back buildings first. So generally make some of these a little taller. And you want to avoid making them all like the same height or the same width. You want to add some character into there. So this is going to be a nice tall one. And then what I do right after I'm done with a building is I'm going to take this brush that has that color in it and I'm going to gently pull it down. Now you have to be real gentle with this. You don't want to put another building. You're just giving kind of an idea of it. And pull it down about as tall as the building. And that's how you're going to make your shadows. So let's go ahead and make another one on this side. And this one will be a little bit fatter and a little shorter. And same thing, we're going to go ahead and just gently pull down here. So we have just that shadow. And you can get as creative as you want with these buildings. So like maybe we add another little story on top of this one. You know what I mean? Get as creative or not as you want to with these buildings. Now these ones are going to be the back buildings. So you don't want to do too many of the shorter ones, but maybe let's go ahead and we'll put one here. It's also a little shorter and fatter. And same thing, we'll go ahead and pull that down. Now we can go ahead and get started on the next color, and you can always go back to a color. So we can go back to red later, but for now we're gonna go ahead and do some purple. And let's go in here. We'll do one that's a little taller and a little skinnier than this one. And now we're partially covering our moon here. And guys, take as many breaks as you need or want for things to dry. And same thing, we'll pull it down here. Pull it down. Okay. And then we'll do one over here that's gonna now overlap this red a bit. And we can do that because the purple and red mix fine and they don't make an ugly color. And same thing. Go ahead and gently pull this down. Good. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to just continue in that fashion until we have as many buildings as we want filled in here. One other thing to keep in mind is you can, of course, utilize your white and black. I like to use some white for some of the bigger buildings and then save the black for the more closer up buildings because those are normally going to be darker anyways. And as you can see, I've started to overlap here. So we're going to just continue to overlap until this is nicely filled in. And then we can overlap even more after this is all filled in. So we're going to keep going here. Okay, so we've got our entire back layer here. We're going to start to put some of the front layer ones. And on that, I'm going to add some black ones that are a bit closer. And you can do other colors as well. Okay, so we've got some of our front buildings here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put back this black line that was here that divides the actual land with the water. And then I like to also kind of just puff it up a little bit on the top just by dabbing it, which kind of adds in the appearance of some trees and stuff like that, because it wouldn't be just a flat line. That kind of just fills it in there. Awesome. That is our basic cityscape. We can now go ahead and start embellishing this. And for that, we're going to use our little detail brush. Now, I do recommend taking another break at this point and pausing the video so that this can dry before you go on to adding your details in. So we're going to go ahead and do that as well. We'll be back. Okay, so we're back. we're going to start embellishing this. So we'll go ahead and we'll get a close-up. This is not totally dry, by the way, so you probably want to wait a little longer than I did. But it's acrylic, so it dries pretty fast. But some things that you can do are adding lines. You can add little dots or squares to signify windows. You can add some shading and some lighting. It's kind of up to you. I just advise that you be creative and just have fun with it. And remember, it's abstract. We're not going for realistic looking buildings here. So just keep that in mind and have fun with it. So here we go. So to start off with, I'm going to start with some of these back buildings, which are a little more dry. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just put some squares here with white, like we're adding in some windows. And remember, maybe not everybody is in the office at the time. So you can maybe skip a few, adds a little more interest. And just kind of go down. Good. Now maybe over here there's a little lighting on this side of this building. Go ahead and add that in there. You know, just keep it simple, have fun with it. Over here we're going to add some lines. And you can do all of the buildings. I generally tend to do just a few of them is enough. I'm going to go ahead and do the squares on this one as well. There we go. And you don't also just have to do white accents. You can also use black, you can use yellow, you can use anything you want. So let's go ahead and we'll add in some black here. And just like lighting, you can add in some shading. And then we can do some lines here. And also, if there's anywhere that you want to kind of separate the buildings out a little more, like where they're maybe blended in, feel free to go in there with just a black line and kind of separate them out. You can definitely do that. Anywhere you would like. There's no rules here. And then also on your white buildings, you can go in here with some black lines. It kind of ends up looking like a domino piece, but that's okay. And so on. So just continue that as much as you would like. Alright, that's really about it on that. You don't have to get too much more complicated. Do as much or as little as you would like. Alright, so just a couple things to wrap up our painting here. One is I like to take a little bit of extra white and just do some gentle streaks down here. Just to add a little more light reflections on the water. Like maybe there's some light reflecting directly from the moon. You know what I mean? So I think that kind of helps tie the picture together a bit more. Totally optional. But I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then the other thing too is the border of the painting. I generally like to take my foam brush and go in here with some black. I feel like it kind of completes the painting and sort of frames it. The other thing you can do is as you're going, have the picture go around it. That's totally up to you, but I like to go ahead and paint the sides in black here. And then lastly, don't forget to sign your name. So I do that with a little detail brush, and I like to sign my initials in the lower left-hand corner here, but you can sign it wherever you want. You can sign it with the date, your full name, however you would like to sign it. Totally up to you. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you try it out. Let me know how it goes. Don't forget to have fun, as always. And please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. I will see you next time.